Hey guys, I'm Richard Head, and I'm going to be showing you the second episode of my Be a Pro. Unfortunately, I don't know if I didn't save, or so, I don't even know. But my first game, I did not save through, so I had to kind of remake my guy all over again. Luckily, I didn't go too far, but that sucks because I had a hat trick in my first game. But this game's not much worse than what happened. But instead of kind of going over the gameplay and kind of color commentating like everyone else says, I'll kind of go over what happened in Toronto, kind of answer the question of whether I snuck in or not. But I'll kind of start over with the commentary then, and I hope you guys enjoy. Hey guys, Richard Head 93 here, aka Canada's Sunny Delight. And I've been asked quite a few times how I snuck myself into the Fan First event earlier this month. And, usually when I'm asked whether it's in a stream or on Twitter or whatever, I normally just kind of brush it off and say something like, oh, well, that's not me. I don't know who keeps saying I went to Toronto, but I'll kind of clear it up in this video here, kind of explain what exactly happened. I'll say right off the bat, I did not sneak into the Fan First event. I'll get into that a little bit later. But I'll kind of start from the beginning. So everyone who actually was invited started getting followed by EA Sports NHL on Twitter. And next thing I knew, they were getting PM'd or DM'd or whatever the messaging is on Twitter to actually email them in terms of eventually inviting them to Toronto for the Fan First event, where they would get flown out, get put in a hotel room for a couple nights, and get to experience the whole thing. So that was awesome for them. And I was talking to X-Tech or Brent on Skype, and we were just kind of going through everything, and we kind of came to the conclusion that due to, I won't get too far into this, but basically I could make my way to Toronto as well. And I knew immediately that planning this, I was not going to the Fan First event. Basically what I was doing was, I, along with everyone else, saw this as the first, NHL YouTuber meetup, and I wanted to be a part of that. Even though I'm not that big of a channel, I was still, I am friends with almost everyone that got invited, if not now everyone. And so I booked a flight for myself and the real Sykes from Calgary to Toronto. Honestly, I don't remember how he got roped into all of this. I'll have to ask him later, but basically, we booked flights to go to Toronto as well. Like I said, just to hang out with everyone. And while they were at Fan First, we were gonna, go to the Hockey Hall of Fame or do something funny because there's so much to do in Toronto. And so we fly to Toronto. We arrive there and make our way to the hotel. And that's when I realized that we did not book ourselves hotel rooms. And that's normally how it goes for me. Like whenever I make a trip, especially when it's out of the country, out of the province or whatever, I don't plan anything out at all. One time my friends and I had a road trip from Calgary to Denver, Colorado to watch the Avalanche play. And the first major city we got to in the States, that's when we realized we have absolutely no idea how to actually get to Denver. So I'm that kind of way when I plan trips. So in the cab on the way to the hotel where Flopfish or Tyler were staying, that's who I was texting in the meantime. And that's when I realized, oh Jesus, I didn't book a hotel room. So started looking in the area of where the hotel was for some cheap hotel rooms, and honestly, where EA put them was a pretty prestigious name. I don't even, they were just put in it was called a castle. It wasn't even called a hotel. It was the Western in something castle. So kind of was not freaking out, but I was like, oh, this is just perfect. But so arrive at the hotel, go up to Tyler's room, meet him there, and next couple minutes later, Flash Davin or Big Dav was right across the hall from Tyler, so we head on over there and met him. And that was just the four of us for a couple hours, so we made our way downtown on Yonge Street, bought some of those hockey cards that you guys saw in those real-life pack openings, where we ended up even getting Mr. Ramjam Singh to open as well. And so on our way back from buying those cards, that's when we met Cole or Tactics HD and Decosaurus Rex or Ryan. And throughout the rest of that night, everyone else kind of just showed up sporadically. Met Brent or met in person, Brent or X-Tech, as well as the Clapperton or D-Money. Then it was Justin or Lamb Chops, and then Crypt and Yui or Dustin. First night as well, the Halo Diego Bros came and hung out with us, and then the night after it was Mold Gold and It's Kane 88, so that was also very fun meeting them as well. But anyway, moving on. We kind of hung out for the rest of that night, and that was all fine and dandy. Then the next morning was the Fan First event. I should actually point out that Brent was nice enough to let me stay in his room. I think Austin stayed with Deke, but I gotta give those two gentlemen props for letting us crash with them. Hopefully, EA, hope they don't watch this or listen to this, but yeah, unfortunately, we kind of spent time in their hotel room. I'll pay you guys back. I don't even care. It's fun. And so the next morning was a Fan First event, and go to Tim Hortons or whatever, and there's a short bus hanging out there, and it turns out the driver is standing outside. I was like, yeah, this is for the EA Sports thing or whatever. Bob, the bus driver, was his name. Oh, Bob. And so we all get on the bus, and I was ready to speak to whoever and just not beg, because I didn't want to be that kind of person. Like, please, huge fan of YouTube videos, please let me in. I just kind of want to be like, hey, here's the deal. I'm friends with these guys. If you mind, tag another person, excellent. If not, I'll be on my way. And so that's when we met Shay. I think we dubbed him community manager. I'm sure he has another title that's fancier and bigger words, production something. And so that's when we met him. And he was kind of doing a little roll call, so he was like, who's this? And everyone's raising their hand, and then he says, is there anyone I missed? And of course, I was like, yeah, hey, I'm Bacon Country. And then I properly introduced myself and kind of gave him my spiel or whatever, and thank goodness, if that's not a word, it is now. But heavens to Shay, he allowed Austin and I to stick around there, so I will always be grateful to Shay for that reason. That was just so nice and polite of him to say, you can come along. And that meant I had to be on my best behavior, so I actually was for the rest of the day, so that was good. So we get driven there, and you guys pretty much know what happened from there if you watched any of the vlogs from Brent or Dustin of what happened, but got a couple pictures with Mr. Pacioretty and Mr. Riley and Mr. Ram Jam Singh, and got to try out the game before everyone, which I was not expecting. I honestly thought we were just going to be allowed to kind of watch everything, but yeah, fortunately we were allowed to play the game for a little bit, got to tour the facility, so that was just all excellent, dandy. And so that was basically it. Like I said, did not sneak in. I will clarify that 100%. I hate to kind of... It's kind of cool saying, oh, yeah, well, I did sneak in and no one knew the wiser or whatever. But like I said, thank you so much to Shay for that reason. I mean, like I said, I honestly thought we were going to get there, and he would have been like, yeah, unfortunately, guys, there's no room, so beat it. And we would have bet it, or whatever the plural of, or past tense or English of that is. But hopefully that kind of clarified everything there. This was fun. Bye.